buckets.
You lost 100,000?
I would been grinding for so long, I never stopped to realize.
What was your biggest financial mistake?
I'm coming, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets.
You watching Untold Raw podcast.
Welcome everybody to Untold Raw. You're here with Lavelle, aka Spray Vision Ville, and we got my co-host Mario, aka Mario Visions, and we got a great special guest today, Vanessa.
Hi guys.
How you doing, Vanessa?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
You ever seen Think Like a Man 2?
Think Like a Man 2? No, I've seen the first one.
Ah, dang.
I'm like, why?
That was like an Easter egg right there when the lady was helping out Kevin Hart at the hotel. Her name was Vanessa, and he was like, Vanessa.
Oh, wait. I think I remember.
Yeah.
I remember something like that. And he keeps saying it, right?
Right.
And then he gets like nastier with Vanessa.
Yeah. And then they got him a new person. He's like, I don't want you. I want Vanessa. So, Vanessa, just let the people know a little about yourself, what you're into, what you got going, and whatnot.
Okay, well, my name is Vanessa Gutierrez. I'm the owner of Amor Boutique, and I also run a nonprofit, which is a community night market in my community called the Alcino Night Market with my brother Sid.
Where's your location located at? Like, let the people know. Like, you know.
Oh, with the boutique?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, the boutique, I feel like it's a whole story within itself, and like how I got to that place. It's located in Highland Park, and it's actually a partnership with Maribel. She is the owner of In the Making Boutique, which is a nonprofit. And we partnered together and got this location in Highland Park this year. And yeah, it's honestly, guys, it's been a crazy ride getting to Highland Park.
So let's start off. One thing I'm curious, like, what got you started as far as like, talk to me from the beginning stage of you wanting to pursue this, right?
Okay.
What was it like? How did you start financially? Did you have savings?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a loan? Like,
okay,
for anyone out there trying to start a business, yeah, like I want to know, what did you
So
do?
let me tell you guys, for Amor, the whole Amor came to me when I was, I'm gonna cry, when I was literally in bed, and I remember being depressed, going through the breakup, not really like happy with my situation, like at all. During that time, I had like a really like not a healthy relationship with my parents. So literally, like I remember I was in my robe. I was in my white robe. I was in my bed working from home. And I was just like, you know what? Let me check if the name Mas Amor, I didn't even think about it. It was the first thing that popped into my head, and like that's the name. I didn't have no other options of like what my boutique was going to be called. It was just Mas Amor, because during that time I felt like even though I was really going through it, all I wanted was to give more love, especially to my community during that time, because it was like COVID. So the idea came to me. I'm like, okay, well, in this time when I'm like fucking down, like what can I do to, one, help, and also like I feel like that will make me feel better. That would like fuel my soul, and it was giving back. So I thought like, all right, I'll start a boutique, and I'll donate 12% of each piece that I sell. I'll put it aside and give it back to El Sereno in one way, shape, or form. And that's what I started doing. And obviously I learned throughout the journey, especially it was his Daniel from Kids of Immigrants. I ran into him at a Shopify event, and I told him like kind of what I was doing, and he like gave me these words. He was like, look, you can't give what you don't have. And I'm just like, lesson number one. And it's true. Like I was the first so I launched my first collection, right? It was called like the Welcome Collection. I wanted to introduce people to my brand and everything. And from there, I was able to set aside, it was like $500. And with those $500, I got 200 burritos. And I had a friend of mine Mo Bar, Luis, he's popped up and did coffee. I had my friend Justin DJ, and I called it the Masamor breakfast. And I fed the homeless. Like, I walked around all Huntington Drive before there used to be a bunch of encampments before they put up the fence.
Right, right.
And I walked the whole strip, and I invited every unhoused person that I ran
Wow.
into.
That's awesome.
And I was like,
Yeah.
look, on this day, meet me here. I'm going to have food, coffee, and music for you. So just please, like, I felt like I was begging them. I'm like, please come, because I really want to do this. Yeah, and that was like the beginning of literally Masamor.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so, and that was a $500 you said?
Yeah.
That's what made you start everything?
Yeah. Well, I actually started my business with a little over $2,000.
And did you invest all of that? Or was it like a little bit less? You're trying to play safe? Like, what was it? Do you
Well,
remember like in that time?
I remember like in that time, I was still working a full-time job. So I was using my paycheck to invest in anything that I could with what I needed. And during that time, I remember I didn't really know what I needed to buy to begin, right? So it's just like, how much clothes do I buy? I don't know. How much is this website gonna cost me? I don't know. Like, but little by little, I was just trusting. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy it. And from my first collection, I remember doing the numbers, and it was a little over 2,000. I was just like, okay, with this 2,000, and then that's how my business started. Since then, the 2,000, every penny has been reinvested into my business. So like, like that 2,000 kind of like grew, you know.
And do you still give back like with every sale or?
So
how does
that
that go?
actually I stopped doing after. So I did, I think it was 3. No, it was 4. So I did 4 donations. So it was the Masamor breakfast, and then it was the school supplies. So during August, when all the kids and us were going back to school again, it was 5, like around, I think this time it was a little bit more. I think it was like more on the 700 side. And I got $700 worth of school supplies. And
Wow.
I popped up at Mobar, and I laid all the supplies like there on the grass on the table. And I just made a post, and I was like, hey, free school supplies at this time, meet me here. And it was that day, it was actually kind of slow, so I was like, damn, I can't let the school supplies like go to waste. Like, I want to give them away. And so I walked to Food for Less, and I was like, where can I go to meet like moms who are
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna meet them shopping.
yeah, exactly. So
for
I was
sure.
like, let me run to Food for Less real quick and let them know, like, hey, I have free school supplies. Just come to the coffee shop and bring your kid, or feel free to grab some for your kid, and they'll be there. And that was another one. And then after, I partnered up with they're called Taste of Grace, and they feed families in need in Guatemala. So I did a collection called Taste of Grace, and with 12% of each piece that I sold went to them. So that was, and we were able to feed over like 30 families.
Wow.
So that was really nice.
So like when you started out, I know you said you invested like the whole 2,000 right back into the business.
Mm-hmm.
What made you go that route and like, okay, I made this money versus like, you know what, I need to reinvest and keep it going? What gave you that push to keep it going versus like, I made money, now I can go?
So I feel like I've shifted a lot of things in my mind and my heart, right? So I know when I started, for me, it wasn't about the money. But then I realized, like, as I really became a business owner, I'm like, the money really matters. Like,
Yup.
it's important, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the only way to achieve, like, I really think it's the only way to really make a difference. And for me, it's making a difference is hiring people. Like, how many lives can
You can impact.
impact? Exactly. And like, that's my dream. Like, my dream is to like hire people that benefit, and like they contribute to a mission that's like bigger than us, you know? And for me, it is like spreading love is like, that's what my summer is all about. It's about like spreading love. For me, it's like the bigger picture. It wasn't about like the money. But now for me, it is very important to
That's
make
the only way to
money.
make it grow. Like
Exactly.
you have to be not like selfish, but like it's just kind of you have to keep feeding the
Intentional.
yeah.
Like for me, what I've learned, it's been like intentional, and I've had to like rewire my brain and my relationship with money, because I realized like growing up, especially like in my household, and I think it's very common too in like Latino household too. It's or I mean many cultures too. It's just the lack mindset of like money and like scarcity, because like our parents being like immigrants, I'm not sure.
So talk to me about that actually, because like yeah, I come from the same and I agree. I don't know if your culture's the same way, but for us, like if you're like investing, like that's like you're stupid. Like they want to play. I get it. They come from a different generation where it's about working hard. Now with the times and with how crazy the world is, you kind of need to be investing, but they don't understand the purpose of that. Like, how did you go and like, or how did your parents react when you had to start throwing money into your business? Like, did they look at you crazy? Did they talk not shit, but you know, like not trying to discourage you, but it's just coming from like I want you to
take care of you. Like I want, like I care about you. So are you sure you want to do this type of thing? I think with my family, it was very interesting. And honestly, when I shared with them, like I'm gonna quit my job to do this, and I had a very secure job. Like in my family view, all my aunts and uncles kind of like work for LA County, so they have like a government job, and to them, especially in my like to my family, that's making it, because you have safety, you have security.
Right.
You know, you have health insurance.
Yeah.
You have like a pension, you have retirement and stuff like that. So to them, like that's the dream, right? And when I told my mom, like, look, I'm quitting, she was just like, are you sure? And I'm very grateful for how my parents kind of reacted to my decision. Was I felt their energy kind of like, holy fuck, you're really doing this shit. Like I felt them very nervous, very worried, and very like, yeah, I that's the only way I could describe their energy. How I felt them was like nervous and worried. But at the end of the day, I also felt that they believed in me. And even though I kind of never really heard them say like I'm proud of you type of thing until recently, actually.
Oh wow.
Um
How did that feel, by the way?
what
When your
Like
dad,
hearing
like
that,
when you
yeah.
got that, like you felt like okay, they did something. What did they do for you to believe like they finally believe in you, like they're proud of you, not
Well,
believing you, but they're proud of you?
yeah, actually, like earlier this year, I think like hearing like your parent, like especially I feel like my like my mom, like because my mom, even though like people always shared stories like, oh, your mom is very proud of you, your mom is very proud of you, and I'm like, well, that's fucking funny, because I've never heard my mom tell me that she's proud of me, you know. So it was always kind of like, like does she really mean that, or like is she just saying that to like to just say that to other people but not me? And then once I forgot where, and I remember that when she told me she's proud of me, it came out really quick. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm really proud of you. And then she's like, and like kind of like, yeah, kind of changed the subject a little bit. But when she said it, I was just like, damn, like thank you, mom. And it's kind of funny because I came to a point where like I didn't need her validation, or I didn't need I didn't need her validation, but hearing your parents say like they're proud of you,
it was a moment.
It feels good. And I did it, like I remember thinking like, oh, I don't need it, but it's just like, truthfully, like as their daughter, like I wanted to hear it, you know.
Because with me, it was probably around the same thing. It took them like, I would probably say 2 years of doing it full time, and then it was like a little bit before Christmas time. And I just bought all these computer parts because I needed a faster editing computer, and everything's coming in. And then my dad comes in and he's like, "Oh, like how much was all this?" And I was kind of like, "Don't worry about it. Like I'm the one that paid for it. Like you guys never helped me. You guys, they had the money to buy me a camera, or something. They never did anything, right?" And I was like, "Well, it's like $1,800. Like what does it matter?" And he walks out the room, comes back in, and he gives me the money, and he says, "I'm proud of you." That was my moment, and I was like, "Dude, like finally." They see it, because throughout the first 2 years, my dad wouldn't say much. He'll stay quiet. But my mom would be like, you're buying more shit. You're buying more shit. Like Amazon packages kept coming in. I'm like, I need to invest in my business, but it was always arguing with my mom. Like, here you go buy more shit. Here you go buy more shit. Like, mom, I got to a point I couldn't even tell her because I'm like, you don't understand, and that's fine. But later on, you're gonna understand. And sure enough, now she brags about me. But it's like, yeah, mom, why don't you tell them how you really felt when I was trying to come up? You weren't bragging about me. You were just more of like, I get it. She was scared, but at the same time, like, I needed that. Any little validation or like giving me some support helps, because at that moment I had no support. It was just myself. I believed in myself.
And honestly, truthfully, that's all you need, Mario. Like, one thing that I'm realizing, I think I also learned too, like before, I realized people would always tell me like, I believe in you, I believe in you. And then it hit me. I'm just like, holy fuck, I'm the one who doesn't believe in myself, you know? And then once that shifted in me, I was just like, you, like, anybody can say anything, you know? And it just like bounces off of you. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what it took for me to get here. You know, like, you don't know. Like, so yeah.
So what you saying, that when it shifted into you believing in yourself, before that transition, what was, or even now, like, what is something that you feared, or what does failure look like to you? Because I mean, to some people, failure could be like, oh, I tried this, it didn't happen. Oh, I give up, I failed. And some people take it as lessons and come back harder, do more, or change their whole thing, and then boom off into something else. So like, what is failure to you?
Well, failure to me is not trying. That's honestly what it is. Like, failure to me is not trying. And now I think my only fear that I have is leaving this earth and like leaving potential on the table. I think that's where, like, and like my another fear is just like wondering what if, like, if, and I like, oh, like, till this day I'm so proud of myself that till this day I don't ever have to work behind a computer and wonder like, what if I took that chance on myself and followed my dream? Like, I don't, like, I'm living it. And even though I'm not where I want to be, like, I know I'm gonna get there.
All right, one thing I want to ask from a business standpoint, what was your biggest financial mistake?
Well, to start off, I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I don't ever think there is mistakes. There's only, I mean, obviously, yes, but I'm trying to think of the worst financial decision that I've made.
Because it's got to be one that calls you where it's like, man, like, you know, like, I took a fat loss.
You know,
you spent money on some clothes or something and it didn't work out, didn't sell, like something.
I mean, yes, I feel like to this day, like, sometimes in the beginning, I spent a lot of money on inventory that I wasn't, this happened along the beginning. Now I feel like I've gotten more of like a handle on it, but I would spend money on inventory, not really knowing my customer yet. Right. You know, so that I noticed was a big waste. And another thing was like when I tried to get into like the plus size and extend the sizes in my store, because a lot of girls will come to me and tell me like, oh, and I get it, like the sizes for some of the inventory is crazy, but I started investing in plus size, but I'm just like, really, my customer isn't that. So I mean, even till this day I have some plus size that I can't even move. So and it's been a minute, you know, so you just reminded me of that. I'm like, fuck, I still have that inventory. So I would say it has been not knowing my consumer early on and like buying pieces that don't resonate with me and like my brand. Okay. Yeah.
Well, finding a consumer, like how did you go about after getting over that hump? How did you go about like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is working, and like.
Well, I kind of like noticed with my pieces for my boutique, I chose pieces that kind of spoke to me and then made me feel like an essence of the woman that I am becoming, which is like the essence I do want to give is just like a divine feminine where I'm both like every piece is always cute, and it has like, it's classy with a hint of sexy. And that is that's what I love. And I noticed that once I started picking more pieces like that, I started attracting girls who have the same like style. And yeah, and I just feel like naturally they just started coming to me because of that. And also, like, I feel like my message too, of spreading love. And one thing that I'm learning, and it's like the power of being myself, and just me being myself brings in people. And so I've kind of, little by little throughout the years, I've been mustering the courage to kind of like show myself more on social media. And it's scary, like, even till this day, like, people tell me like, you look so natural when you're like on your stories or this and that, you look like you're made for it. I'm like, bro, only if you knew, I'm like dying inside sometimes. Like, I'm cringe, but I'm like, I have to step out of my comfort zone and keep doing it.
Part of a business. You
Yeah,
have to.
I have to. I don't have a choice.
Especially this year, this time and place. Yeah.
No time for rest
No.
in today's time, and no time. It's like, it's always, you got to be up and at it, or be at it before someone else, or be, you know what I'm saying? There's always the competition out there and everything.
That's actually a good one, because I actually want to talk. I want to cover on that. Talk to me about, how does your day go? How does your way go about, from opening the boutique shop, having to work? How do you work after hours? Like, what is it that people don't get to see on your side, on the business side? Like, everyone just sees you have a business, but talk about the hours. What is it that you do for anyone out there that wants to open up a boutique shop or a apparel line, whatever the case is? Like, how many hours do you put in? Do you feel like you should be putting more in? Like, talk to me about that.
Well, I know, like, for sure, the amount of hours that I put in, I kind of even lost track. For the store, this is my first time opening the store, and this happened in August. August 31st was like our soft launch, right? And to open the store, I remember the day before, it would be, I remember leaving the store like at 3 a.m, and then we were opening the next day, like around, like, I had to be back at like 8 to make sure everything was good. But I feel like I'm always there. Like, it's literally my second home. In the mornings now, we open the store around 10 during the week. Before, what I was doing, because one thing that became really important to me is my mornings. Like, my mornings, I dedicated them to myself. And I feel like I truly need this time for me to set the tone for the day, and also to, like, my mental being, like, my mental health has been something that this year became my priority. Because the years before, it wasn't. And I thought like I just had to literally be nonstop. And that is part of the game. But I realized that I don't want to always play if my mind isn't right. And I really felt for a long time my mind wasn't right. And I felt like that translated to my results too. And I had so many breakdowns, like so many breakdowns that like I felt like I was in a dark place.
It's crazy that you say that, because it took me, I think I've been doing this for like 8 years. Literally, I bullshit you not, maybe like a month ago is when I started taking care of my mental health. Before that, we're talking 8 years, and I've been grinding and putting some crazy ass. You're making me feel like, damn, I'm an idiot. I let it go too long.
I tell him the same thing. I'm like, bro, you need like a vacation. Like, you need some time for yourself, because he's like nonstop Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's crazy. So like for me, I'm like, he knows, like he calls me in the morning and my phone is on do not disturb. I'm in the gym.
Gets me mad.
I'm in the gym. I'm like, this is my time.
And I'm still bugging his ass.
Yeah, so like, I always tell him like, yo, it's very important to have that therapeutic session with yourself, and that where you can release, you know, because a lot of times we're so barricaded in work and trying to get things done, we never take time out to slow down for ourselves. You know, we always keep it going and like, no, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And before we know it, we're like, dang, like 2 weeks went past. Like, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
It went
and
by
like
that
the
fast.
days blend, like everything becomes one. And one thing that is so crazy, this past Saturday, it was my first Saturday that I had off, I think since like, June or earlier, I'm not sure. And what I did with that day, I went to visit my best friend's sister. She's in the hospital and she has a brain aneurysm. And I was there with her and stuff like that. And she was talking to me. And out of nowhere, she just like looks to the side and she's just like, look at me, Vanessa. Like, look at me. And I'm like, oh my God, I am. And I see that tube on your head and I can't look any longer. Right. But she was just like, this is going to happen to you if you don't take care of yourself. And it was on my first Saturday off in like a really fucking long time. And when she told me that, it sat with me and I knew I was supposed to be there that moment, that day, everything, like regardless of the circumstances. And I know she's going to come out of this. I'm like, fuck, like I really need to take care of myself because nothing else, if I'm not okay, nothing else is going to be okay. Yeah. You know? Oh, baby.
What they say, health is wealth. You don't have your health, you can't make wealth.
It's crazy how your friend told you when she was in the hospital. Mm-hmm. That's one thing my dad always tells me. He's like, look at me. He's like, son, like you also got to enjoy life and stuff like that, right? It's just sometimes like as much as I want to try, for me personally, it's just hard because dumb bills ain't stopping. Yeah. And like the way I view it is like I want something that can last the whole year without me. Mm-hmm. And until that happens, I'm like, I can't. So the way I'm trying to go now is separating my time. Like for example, me and him are working together 5 times a month, but those 5 days are gonna allow me to rest the remaining of the month, unless I got work going on. Mm-hmm. But as far as like content and having to force every day, is like no, let's just be more productive with our time. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to get better at. How do I utilize my time right so I could take time off? For example, yesterday we were at the hospital with Didi. Mm-hmm. You know, it sucks and everything, but I didn't feel like normally any other day, whether it's my parents, anybody really, I'm like, fuck, I gotta go do this work. I got this job. I felt we've already been executing on a lot of videos. So I'm like, oh, like I can take the day off. Mm-hmm. I don't feel so stressed like I need to work. Mm-hmm. So I think
you see, and that's important.
Yeah.
Like she's important.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day is just like when we leave, it's like those people, like the people around us. This is one thing I'm learning is just like it's those around me that it's like how did I show up for them? Like how was I there? And I know some, like especially being a small business owner, being there is hard.
Yeah.
You know, being there. But I do believe like you, like big congrats to you, dude. Like the fact that you can do that, it's such a win. Like that to me is success. Like that to me is like you're fucking rich. You know, the fact that you can leave and like take care of what is most important, which is the people around you. I truly believe is like a dream. Like I can't wait to be like, yo, I can't do that. I can't leave my shop just like that yet. You know, I'm gonna build to that, and that's why like I just want to hire and like I want to hire like people who are also like very deserving of it too, you know, like that get what I'm doing and get that this, I really believe like when people come with me in the store, it's not about the clothes. It's to me, it's the experience. It's like, how am I going to make you feel like leaving this door? You know, like when you walk out this door, whether you're feeling like shit coming in, whether like you're having a bad day, like anything, you can come in feeling bad, but when you're here, like I want you to leave feeling like, if not better, maybe you can like breathe a little better, you know? Yeah. But, and I've seen it, like I've seen that experience come alive in the boutique, like when I'm there with like Paulette, and like I just genuinely want to make people feel good, feel beautiful in whatever they're wearing ultimately.
Like I'm not gonna lie, you do have something, you do have a gift, because every time when I sell my studio in El Sereno, and you'll like somehow see me, Mario, what's up? Like you just had a good, like if I had a bad day and I'm walking into my studio, your energy raised me up. I'm like, damn, like why am I so like sluggish right now? Like, or why am I so stressed? Like that's very affectionate. Like that's, you're actually leading by example. Like anyone that walks in, if you're giving them that, like you are that. So I think honestly, that's a good gift. Cause like I'm always thinking about work and this and that, or I could be sluggish, and that's where Lavelle also comes in and gives me that boost, that energy. I'm like, you need those people, and like, just keep doing that, because that honestly could take you far. It's very important to have that, because if not, You end up like me, grumpy and stressed out.
Yeah.
And honestly, thank you so much. Like, thank you for acknowledging that, because it took me a long time for me to like realize like, what am I good at? You know, like what is like my gift, you know? And I think I found it. Like I found it in just like being myself, you know?
It's important.
Yeah.
It's very
And
important.
that's a big thing, to be yourself within it. We always have conversations like this. I'm like, you could tell when something's not authentic.
Yeah.
And when something's authentic, you can relate to it. You feel like it's closer to you, just like a family member. You know, when you have a family member or a favorite cousin, you can relate to that person. You feel like you know that person. So now you trust that person. Same with business. That's how you got to grab them. Like how you said, you want your clients to leave happy.
Mhm.
So I think that right there was a good way. I was going to ask you, like, how did your business stand out from the majority? But that right there was
It's
like,
me.
yeah, that was a good thing, because I'm like, so like, I don't never hear no other boutiques tell you like, hey, I want you to leave feeling this way.
Yeah.
Most people try to
Facts.
get you up on a sale. Like, hey, I got these socks too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now I'm feeling mad at myself leaving this because I done spent extra money than what I came to spend. But so that was actually a good thing. So that's hey, big ups to you for sure for that
Yeah.
one.
Because you need that. That can take you, not
Yeah.
it will take you farther,
Yeah.
further in your business and life.
And that, to me, like that's what it is. Like to me, like when someone buys something at my store, it's not like, oh, you're giving me money. No, like we're exchanging energy. Like this
Love that.
money, like this money is just energy,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like I'm giving you energy, and you're like, I feel like more willing, able. It's just like beautiful energy exchange, and like that's what I live for. Like that's truly like what I want. I want them to feel good buying, and I want to make them feel, and I feel good too. Like it's just beautiful, and I feel like even at the shop at Highland Park, I've genuinely, like, there's been women that have left the store, and you're like, when they're buying their piece, and just when they put on the garment and whatever they're wearing, and they light up, they like change, and I'm just like, ugh, like it's in you, you know, it's not on you, like it's not the clothes that's on you, it's like literally in you, and sometimes you just need that. I think clothes do bring out
It
do
does.
bring
It
out
actually
different, yeah, and I think it's very important.
Talking about that, so I've been sluggish the last like 3 years.
Because you've been in sweats.
Sweatpants.
I've known, that's how
Nike
much I've
sweatpants.
known you.
I've been in sweats. Yeah, the last 3 years, and for me, D actually is the one that called me out. She's like, you need to like. She's like, look, I get it. Like, you know, you're comfortable, but she's like, you still gotta like. And then I started like putting some jeans, putting some stuff. I'm like, this ain't me, but it did make me feel better. It's more of like, I just don't, it's not that it's not me. It's just, I'm not, people don't know me like this, but I got to start becoming, because every time I'm with Lavelle, he's always cleaned out. I'm like, hold on, bro. It's like, yeah, like I can't, like I'm comfortable, but at the same time, yeah, if you dress better and you feel good, like you're going to perform better.
Yeah, I swear, like put on a good outfit, your attitude changes like automatically, and it feels good to like look good, and I just feel naturally you do good, and that's my biggest thing, is just like, and that's like kind of like my slogan, it's like spread love and look good doing it.
Ooh,
You hear that? Oh, spread Lavelle and feel good doing it. Okay, holla at your guy.
Actually, one thing I do want to talk about is because I feel like this is something that goes under the rug with a lot of business owners, and I think this is a really good one. So let's talk about relationships, because I think everyone, to me, I went through it. I've seen a lot of people go through it. I feel like no relationship is ever gonna. I hope it lasts, but a lot of the times, if let's say you're working a 9 to 5, and you have a boyfriend at the time, all of a sudden next month you decide to pursue this dream. That's gonna cost a lot of your time to go towards that dream.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through something where you're in a relationship, it didn't work out because you were just like going? What was the whole experience like? What happened, if you did, or you know?
Well, in the beginning, it kind of worked out perfect because I was going through a breakup. So all that energy, like all that pain, I kind of like poured it and created Mas Amor, like with that. And then throughout, like I think like shortly after I launched Mas Amor, I met Justin from Good Mood.
Oh yeah.
And we were together for I think it was like almost like 2 years. And I noticed that in that relationship, sometimes we get a little comfortable, and if we're not both like wait,
Bonding?
actually, I don't know if I want to. Can we? I don't want to. I don't kind of don't want to name drop.
Untold Raw.
I'm like, I don't want to name drop. Nah, you know what? It is what it is. It's the truth. So like, yeah, I just feel like personally, I got comfortable in the relationship, right? And I felt it. Like I felt me producing less, you know. I'm just like, nah, this can't be it, you know. So I made the choice to like choose myself and kind of like, you know what, because a relationship takes so much energy. There are a lot of work, and I think it's not fair to be in a relationship if you can't be, because I know for a fact during the relationship, and I spoke to Justin about it too, I'm just like, I know that I wasn't fully present. Like I wasn't fully always there because my mind was always somewhere else, like work, what do I have to do? And then after, like, I was popping up like so much. I was like constantly always on the go. And I felt like even just being a girlfriend, I wasn't even a good girlfriend, to be honest. But yeah, I feel unless your partner and you like are super aligned with like, I know your goals and you know mine, and we're really gonna like teamwork this bitch and like make it work, I feel like that's like the only way it could really because relationships, I believe they can thrive in any circumstances, right? It just depends of where each person is at, and in that time I'm like, yeah, no, I have to choose myself. And it's been perfect because ever since, you know, we broke up, so many beautiful things have happened for both of us. So I think in the sense it's kind of like, yo, maybe we're holding each other back a little bit, you know? And whatever the case is, like, I know even till this day it's like nothing but love, you know? And we're still supportive of each other. And I'm just so grateful to have like a healthy experience, like a healthy relationship, and like my first time even staying friends with like an ex-boyfriend, which is so rare. And I feel very blessed to have, you know. And I'm just like, it worked out exactly how it was supposed to work out.
I think that's dope, that how you identified it and took accountability. Like, hey, I'm not really here all the time. And I noticed that, you know, because some people just totally throw the blame on someone else. Like, you're the reason why I can't get my business started. I'm always here with you and stuff like that. So that's actually dope that you identified that. And you guys are still good and still on good terms. Because, like, I've been in some relationships where I'm just chasing a dream. And it's like, you're never here. You're never there. Like, and it's like, oh my gosh, I guess I'm already dealing with stuff that's me chasing a dream. So now I have to come home and deal with you know, like,
if your partner doesn't understand that you're chasing a dream, fuck, dude, you just make chasing your dream 10 times harder.
Because right now I think that's where like I'm kind of in, like, obviously me and you have a great relationship. I think she knows, but sometimes like everyone in my family, like, dude, you gotta go out, you gotta go on vacation, you gotta do this. But it's like, I don't think people understand like my vision behind it. I don't think she understands either. But I want to be able to take off, but knowing everyone's taken care of. Like, I don't want to be the person just goes on vacation, spends $5,000 when I could have used it. I know it shouldn't be that mindset, but it's like next year I can have the rest of my life to do what I want. But if I start just, let me just treat myself, then that tends to like hold me in a circle where I'm gonna just be living the same life.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think you can treat yourself once?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it's like a black and white situation where like it's either I treat myself or I don't treat myself, or like, cause like I think, cause honestly, Mara, you're like a different beast. You're like, you're on some other like level. You're like some crackhead shit, you know? But I love, and it's so inspiring. Like seriously, seeing you throughout these years, I've literally since I started Masa More, that's kind of like around the same
We started
time.
at the same time. I started 2020.
like I met you and stuff like that, because that's when the night market and stuff, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And like ever since I met you, I'm like, yeah, this guy's something else. Like to keep up with you, it's something, you know, but it's
Nah.
like
I know.
it's like I don't even know. I'm like, I feel like I'm losing my words because I can't even describe the force that you have. And like, I'm sorry, you're just like a different fucking breed, you know? And I'm inspired by it on the daily, but I know I can't
So
do.
it's a good breed then, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay. I was
like
oh,
it's
damn.
it's
Like-
it's a good thing. And again, I think because of that, not like probably rare that you're understood, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I just have like something so big in my mind. It's like
you're hungry, you're starving, and like nothing's gonna like
No lie.
like I even feel like, and even I feel it too, like I'm not interested, like for the longest period of time, like, oh, like go have fun and blah blah blah, go out and blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, I'm not even fucking interested in going out.
yeah.
Like I'm not interested in that, because I literally rather save my energy
Right.
for the things that do matter.
Yeah, and it's always like I always tell everybody, like, I consider myself really young still. And I'm like, by the age of 35, I want to have the option to retire. And people don't understand 35 is still young. Like, dude, you have 45, that's 10 years. You got 55, that's 20 years. Wouldn't you want to be financially free where you set yourself out? I get it. It was like the hardest route to get there. It was like the hardest road, but you just kept fighting, you kept pushing, you kept, you know, and it's like, I don't know. That's something that just caused me. I'm looking at like a 3-year window, 5-year window. I'm like, man, I want to be that level. It's not the money. Money is not what I'm chasing. I'm chasing freedom.
Yes. I'm like, dude, it's freedom.
It's freedom.
You want
And that's what
freedom.
money brings. It's not something that when people are like, oh, well, give me 100,000, I'll be happy. No, you won't. If you're not happy now,
not
you're
even
not
a
going to be
million.
happy.
A
More
million
money,
would
more
not.
problems.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Like,
and like for me, like my ultimate like dream, all I want, like you say, like freedom, same, but it's just like I just want options. Like I want infinite options. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Well, obviously lots of money.
Yeah.
You know? But to me it's like I just want options to decide what I want to do, when I want to do it, you know, and how I want to do it. And like, let's say I want to have the boutique, but then I want to start something new, you know, I can do it because I have that option too.
For sure.
for example, like we were just talking about this a few days ago, and I told him we're gonna go all in with everything. No more procrastinating. Let's dominate. The beauty of being financially good, I can do whatever I want without letting that affect me. And to me, that is a dream of mine. Like I can push my dreams without letting money be like at the top or the forefront. Like I don't have money. Like that's why I work so hard. So when these ideas come, I'm able to just execute. What's my excuse is not doing it. But the money's there. And that's where I do it. Like I want to push. I want to be able to, build something where it's like, I did that. And then when I have kids with D, the kids look up to like, yeah, dad did this, did this. And I want my kids to grow at a certain way. So that's just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like the overall.
Yeah.
And then
it's your legacy.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing with this precious time that you have here? And like I see that for you. I see you retired at 35. Like I see that for you. And like for you, what I hear is like you work so hard so you can create. Like you just want to create. Like you're creative. Yeah. And that's when you're creating, you're more aligned with who Mario is.
Yeah. You know what's scary? I'm actually right now in the motion right now. I don't want to take any more jobs. Yeah. I kind of want to push my passion, my love. Like I didn't get into filmmaking for money. And then everyone that's hiring me for filmmaking with money, it's not creativity. It's just to make videos. I didn't get in this just to make videos. I want to make videos that matter. Me being able to do what I want, that matters because I'm only going to do things that matter. Yeah. So like that's kind of
I really believe everyone should live like that. I think everyone
it shouldn't be to satisfy others. Satisfy
to live for yourself. And then with that, the more you can do that, the more you can show others how to do that and help people. I really truly feel that's the way to helping. Like
For sure, for sure. And then even like going back on like how you said you want to retire at 35, that's actually a great goal to have because every year we look up, retirement age is going up.
Because
Like we're getting older, and it's like it seems like
When-
we're never gonna stop working, right?
especially with this whole world economy.
So to have that goal and be able to want to like this is when I'm gonna do it. It's like you already I'm not gonna do this for my rest of my life, and that means I'm gonna work hard while I'm getting there. Like so I can make sure I reach that goal. With that being said, what to both of you guys, what is fun to you guys?
I'll let Vanessa start.
Walks.
Rocks?
No, walks. I
Oh,
love.
walks. Okay, I was like, wait, rocks?
I thought so.
I'm like,
Did I
walks.
hear that right?
Like I know
No,
what
I
to do with you then. We gonna go rock climbing.
I know.
I like collecting rocks. No, I'm kidding.
right. So-
No, I love going on walks.
Oh, okay,
Like I
okay.
love walks. It sounds so,
Yeah.
but to me, I have a lot of fun going on walks, spending quality time with my sister, with my friends. I love now even like spending time with my family, like my parents. Like I feel like I've hit a point where I'm just like, wow, I love my parents. Like anything that in the past doesn't matter. Like I just want to spend as much time that I get with them, and yeah. So it's going on walks and quality time with people I love.
For sure, for sure.
I think that's why I work hard too, is for that same reason. Like hanging out, when I go hang out with my father, it's the most precious time. And I say father a lot of times, bro. Obviously, my mom, love her. I'm thankful that my mom is healthy. That's like the number one thing, right? But my father went through some things disease wise. He's never been the same. So that's what made me that's what people don't see. People see Mario just like, but then no one really knows what's in the back of my head. And that's my father's health. And like, it's just, there's just a lot. And then Dee Dee's health. And like, dude, that's where money comes in and helps. And that's where I want to be the provider. I want to be that person. And that's why I have so much on my shoulders. That's why I work the way I am. It's like, I don't want to be in like, oh yeah, we need this much money. It's like, everyone starts panicking, GoFundMe, and like, dude, I want to be that provider. And like, it takes a lot. And I feel like God gave me the power to be able to handle a lot. So yeah, like for me, yes, quality time with my dad, bro, for sure. My mom, every time, she's usually there anyway. I would just say my dad, because like, it's just, you never know when God could take someone that you love.
Yeah.
So that's just,
life is too precious.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's
for
too
sure.
precious.
and then obviously sleeping with D all day in the couch. I think with the dogs.
With
With the
dogs,
dogs.
I'm not
With the
gonna
dogs.
lie, bro.
Yeah.
I pray for a relationship like yours. Two ambitious people that understand each other and that can get up and go get it and understand this is the time to get it. This is the time we can do this. I feel like going back to the relationship thing, I feel like that's very hard to find with being an entrepreneur, business owner. It's like you either have one thing or you don't have it at all. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's pretty dope that you have that for sure. Cause like, man, I don't even want to tell
that
you about my
is
time.
truly the most, I believe, the most decision you're making in life is who you end up with. Like who
For
you
sure.
choose. Not like, I mean, married, yes, but like people, like your life partner, I think is one of the most like important choices.
My dad told me way before I started this whole thing that I started. He said, "Be careful who you choose." Actually, let me rephrase it. It matters who you choose because you need a queen by your side. If you don't have a queen, he's like, "Mijo, look at what I did. I wouldn't do none of this without your mom." He's like, "You need that strong partner." And I didn't do all this if it wasn't for D.
Yeah.
I would have probably blown it. I probably would have, like, I don't know what I would have done with the money, but having her by my side, I couldn't just go and blow the money. I had to be I couldn't even touch it unless she had to know where the money was going. And that's where
That's by D.
yeah, she
Shout out to D.
checked me.
know.
I mean, you know how D is.
Yeah,
But she's
D
strong.
not playing.
Yeah, she ain't playing. She's like, she questions.
No,
like,
she quiet, but
yeah,
That's
she's
boss lady right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she's-
he told me stories where I'm like, that's D. He's like, oh, she went and did this. I'm like, oh, damn, okay.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's definitely her, but she don't show it. She's very sweet, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
she's-
I will say she's really good.
Even from the other side, I want to ask you that. Like, even from being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and then with D, with her ambitions and her being a business owner and doing her thing, how is it for the other side for you, like dating an entrepreneur and knowing? Because it's times I see D is up at it early in the morning and then she's the last one there, and then like you're like, dang, like how does that as a guy?
It's hard, bro. Like, again, like you just have to see it like down the line, like hopefully a few years. But for me, it's like when she's over here grinding and working, like she'll be here 12 hours. The next day she'll be back 12 hours. I'll be at home working. So I won't even notice she's not home. And then when she comes home, I'll let the computer go. I'll go downstairs and we have a little food or something. And then we just chill before we go to sleep. But it's literally like those, it's very small. But it doesn't happen all the time. But when she's gone like that, I gotta just, I'm working too. So it's kind of like you don't even notice. But I think that's what keeps us going because we're both very busy. But to my, what I want to eventually do next year, well, I'm already starting on it, is value my time more. Not just wake up and go work just to go work. Like have a time and then give more time to D. D gives more time to me and just enjoy more. And which is why we kind of put all the studios in one spot. Because we want to just financially, it helps us more, right? It's just one person now. It's not finding out who's going to do it. One person can't. So now she has to come forcefully. Now we can just send someone here and then we can finally spend the time. And that was, I think, the biggest thing where she was happy too. It's like we can find, like, if it's 4 hours, I'm like, just give it a Taz, give it a Lavelle. I was like, me and you would just chill at the house. Like, what the hell, you gotta go drive over there. So
For sure.
Now but it took some time, a lot of years.
Yeah, I mean, you guys obviously like built to that.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's what like is the most important. Is like someone willing to be by yourself and build with, and like having like an actual partner, like an actual, not just like being in a relationship, but actual like a partner making each other's life easier for each other, you know.
Very true.
Because I'm so happy for you, indeed.
She takes care of a lot of things. Trust me, if I didn't have her, oh my Lord, that means I have to get someone to do my house, clean the house, the financial side. Now I don't know. You guys ain't getting paid because I ain't sending the money. Like, there's a lot of
didn't tell him.
Yo, shout out to D. Because I've been there when D. We spent all day. It'd be me, Mario, and Taz, and we're trying to figure something out, a set to set up the set, and D come in and it's just like quick, like do this quick. But we spent like 5 hours trying to set this up.
I remember that one. I remember that.
So
day.
Shout out to D. Get well soon.
Yeah, she will. She will.
But any last things that you want to tell other people? Any like words of, encouragement or things you've gone through that for them to know, like if you guys were to do what you're doing, which is a boutique, is a apparel line kind of, how do I describe this better?
So Mas Amor, what it is newly curated pieces. And in the store, I'm partnered with a nonprofit called In the Making, and the store together is called Mas Amor in the Making. It just went well that way.
Oh, okay.
And those clothes are donations. So if anybody wants to come and donate clothes, they can donate to us, and then we take care of it. And that's how we keep funding the youth programs that we do. So yeah,
that's awesome.
And then the address is 5006 Half York Boulevard, Highland Park.
You guys got a website?
90042. Yeah, I have a website, masamorboutique.com.
I hear that.
You gotta say more. Don't be scared to say it. Say with
energy,
like
masamorboutique.com.
That's what
baby.
I'm talking about.
That's right. You gotta own your business. No one's ever gonna own it like
I'm
you.
I'm just too chill with you guys. Like, honestly, this conversation is too chill that I'm just like,
Nah, you gotta own it. Like, honestly,
I'm very, very, very proud of myself. I'm very proud of how far I've made it, from literally taking a leap of faith to just literally just trusting the process, like trusting God with all my being and not knowing like the result. I didn't know I was gonna have a store. Like I didn't know any of this, but looking back, it's just like jump and the net will appear, like God's got you. And I believe that. One
last question I have for you, going into your store you just got, it was like 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
Yeah, it's the beginning of my 4th month. So yeah, 4 months.
What made you make that jump? Because that's a big jump from going to, you're doing it from in-house?
So I think it was, this place is so special to me because, okay, so when I started, it was online pop-ups. And then I transformed my living room into a boutique. And like, honestly, shout out to my dad. You know how like you is your dad? For me, is my dad too. My dad is my rock. Like without him, I can't do this shit. He helped me transform my living room into a boutique. So I was taking shopping appointments there. And then I was still doing pop-ups, and one of the locations where I would pop up all the time was Highland Cafe, which is right next to the boutique where I'm at now. And shout out to Arnie from Highland Cafe. He's the owner. He's amazing, and he always shared his space with me. He's like, hey Vanessa, whenever you want, like, my space is available to you. He would move tables, like,
Wow.
Oh,
take
that's
away
awesome.
seating from himself so I can be there. And I was popping up there since I started, and the last time I popped up there was June 1st, 2024. And I was popping up right outside of the store. I didn't know that store was going to be mine
Yours.
yet.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, that day I was crying outside because I wanted to give up. I was
Wow.
literally,
With your
yeah, with everything. I was like, I wanted to give up. I was just like, is this like the amount of work that it is? Like, is it worth it? You know, at the end of the day, like
why did
it's-
that go through your mind? What was it that made you say like?
well, because
think.
like this year, I feel like business wise, it has been slow. You know, I feel like it's been a tough year for not just me, but like you hear it everywhere. You know, and so I was like, well, fuck, like, is my little boutique gonna like? Am I ever gonna like make it? You know, and well, I don't think it's little anymore. It's más amor,
That's
baby.
right.
Hey,
That's
let 'em
right.
know.
But in that time, I was literally like, so, and I remember sitting outside. I was sitting like on my stool, and I was just, and it was a cloudy day, and I'm like, fuck, I was feeling the blues. Like, I was
Oh,
feeling
yeah,
like
yeah.
how it was outside, and I was just like, I just started like tearing up. And then some lady comes with her daughter, and she like hugs me, and then her daughter like shops with me. I'm just like, and then she's like, no llores, like, don't cry. I'm just like, she's like, you got this. I'm just like, oh. I'm like, okay. And then after minutes later, Arnie comes, and he was just like, hey, Vanessa, because I asked him, like, hey, do you know anything about this building? Like, do you know like how long it's been for lease? Do you know the landlord? Do you know anything? He was just like, I do know the landlord. I'll let him know and stuff like that. Well, that day, the landlord, Arnie said, like, he doesn't really show up, but he's here today. You want me to introduce you to him? And I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like over here wiping my tears. I'm like, yeah, I want to see this space. So I meet Tony. He shows me the space, and as soon as I walked in, I was just like, I just felt it in like my being.
It's crazy how
Yeah.
you know when it's
like I just know, like I just felt it in my being. I was just like, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I don't know if it is gonna be it, but at least let's try. Like, so I spoke to Maribel, and I was just like, because during this time I was in her boutique in East LA.
okay.
I went from my apartment to her store in East LA, where I became a mentor, and I was working with the youth and everything, which I love. That's like a new thing that I learned that I loved. And even throughout that process, this girl Leslie, her boutique is called August Bloom, and I helped her start her boutique with. So shout out to August Bloom, Leslie. And so I found my path, like what I love helping these kids like start something, because for me it's like all I wish I had something growing up was like someone telling me like you can, and like, look, it's not that difficult. The difficult part is consistency, is like how much you want it,
Yeah.
I don't know where this path is gonna take me, but if this is meant to be, it will be, and we kept calling the Tony, the landlord, and he kept saying, well, we're getting people interested, so I'm just waiting for all the applications to come in. And this is like hot real estate, like prime, like York Boulevard, like prime, like people fucking wanted this spot. And then we got the call, and he was just like, look, I think you guys are like the best tenants for this. And then plus Arnie had put in a good word for us, because like he knew me too, which I think like, again, not a coincidence. Like, I think everything is
Just
so
worked out.
synchronized and so beautiful. And he was like, I love what you guys do and your mission and the nonprofit work too. And he chose us to be his tenants, and I'm just like, fuck, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good. That's
awesome.
good. I like hearing stuff like that, because it's like that's like such a major jump
Yeah.
to do something like that, because now you got a bigger overhead. Like you're really
and the
you're
rent
betting
there
on
ain't no
yourself.
fucking joke. The rent in New York is no
It's a lot.
joke. Yeah. For the square footage that I have, I think we pay like $5,000.
What's the square footage?
Oh, I forgot on top of my head.
Is
But
it
it's
like,
not that big.
it's 1,000 or it's less than that?
No, I think it's like
It's in the hundreds?
like
Oh,
it's
wow. So you're
it's
paying a lot per
small.
square footage.
I think it's like $6 per square foot.
Yeah, you're paying a lot.
Boy.
That must be a prime spot then for
Yeah,
you to be paying that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm
So you're close to what I was paying in El Sereno.
and your place was huge.
Yeah, and that place is huge.
No, my thing is like it's small. My thing is small. Sounds my store, but it's out like fuck it.
You
Make
gotta
it
try.
happen.
You
Yeah,
gotta try.
that's I never want to wonder what if.
What? Yeah.
You know,
the
I
what
think-
ifs will haunt you for the rest of your life.
The what if was like I don't care. I'm gonna at least try. And again, like I learned so much already from this experience that I feel so confident that like, okay, it doesn't work out here. Let's figure something out, you know? And I think that's one thing, like over the years, it's just like, I'm so fucking proud of the confidence that I built in myself. Cause I realized I lacked a lot of confidence before. I'm like, damn.
I'm actually gonna give you one solid advice, and that is if something ever goes down, if something's ever wrong, if things ain't going right, whatever the case is, don't ever let it hit you. Change that mindset to what can I do to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever let it get you, because the moment your energy goes down, it's gonna go down with you.
Mm-hmm.
So be strong. People are not gonna see it. People, whatever. Like it's just you. It's you against the problem. Attack that problem and right away switch it. Because that's one thing he told me.
Right?
Because I've never, if some people don't see my mistakes, I make a lot, but I pivot. Like he always said, I pivot fast. I never, and it's hard for me to display because I'm just so, like, it's not on my time. Like I gotta get it done. I gotta figure it out. So that's one thing I could tell you. Like if anytime, like you can try things, but it's not like it's meant to be. No, you can still fix it if things are going wrong. I just want you to just take that with you, because like I didn't have no one, but of course I was always strong to like I'm gonna fix the problem.
Yeah.
And just be a problem solver.
Yeah.
With anything you're going through, because I want you to succeed. You're doing good, and I'm happy for you. You have great energy.
Thank
For
you.
me, I want all the great people to succeed, because I know when they're great and they deserve, a lot.
And honestly, thank you, Mario. Honestly, from the beginning, since I met you, you've always been down to like do photo shoots and videos. And we did like a sick ass one, the subway.
That was dope.
I loved that video, and
That was,
I
really
truly appreciate all like the love and support you've given me through these years too. Like, and I feel it. Like I feel like you genuinely like want to help me, and I felt that. So I want to appreciate and say thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Because that's what it takes. It's like when people, I don't believe like you never do anything alone. It's the people throughout the journey and that really get you to where you're meant to go.
For sure, for sure. Before we get out of here, you want to let them know any like upcoming drops, any like fall, winter?
Well, I
sets?
am Mas Amor. It's gonna be turning 4 on December 12th. So I plan on having like a special sale for that day or something special for my girls out there, which is in the works right now.
Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all go to a website, check it out for sure.
Yeah, my Instagram is masamor.boutique. And
Any other social medias that they?
I mean, my personal is Vamazing, which is VAAAMAZI.
We'll put it right here.
Yeah, put it
We'll
right
put
here.
it some right here. If it's video, if you guys are watching the video,
For sure.
but
I'm like, what is my name?
but we both really appreciate you coming by. Like honestly, that means a lot. I know time is very precious, so I appreciate it. Like honestly, and then honestly, the last thing that I can finish it off with, to anyone out there that's an owner or wants to open a store or anything like that, I'm very big on like what your guy said at the beginning of the podcast. You said someone told you can't help others until you help yourself. And I want to end it with that. That's a really strong one. And I get it. A lot of people think you're stingy, as they say, codo in Spanish. But it's not that. Like my dad, my mom was always telling me at the beginning, you said when you start making money, you're going to give back. I'm like, no, I'm not making that type of money. So now, guess what? Now I'm in the position where I give back. So it's like you first help yourself out, and then you can start helping people without it really affecting your life, your bills,
your well-being,
exactly,
your mental state.
Yeah.
So
that's to everyone out there. Just first focus on yourself, treat yourself, and make sure, you're taking care
yourself.
And then, then you go push forward and give back to others.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So to end this out, thank you, Vanessa, for coming, giving us some time, giving us some game, and the message behind your business. I love it. It's your boy Lavelle, aka Spray Vision Vell, Spray Vision Media. You can follow me on Instagram, Spray Vision with a Z. We got Mario, aka Mario Vision, Untold Raw. We out.